Hello everyone. This time we will introduce you a special diagnostic method, 闻诊. 闻 in Chinese has two different meanings. One is the smelling activities. Another is the listening activity, but has the same pronunciations. The corresponding translation for 闻诊 is the auscultation and obfuscation, which refers to the examinations of listening to the sounds and detecting the order of the body. It's required the practitioner has the keen and clear hearing and smelling sense. The auscultation and obfuscation, it also had another simple translation, listening and smelling. The listening to sound includes listening to patient's voice, speech. The typical abnormal manifestation mainly can classify into deep, harsh voice, hoarseness, and loss of voice, and sluggish speech. Those all have close relationship with the function of lung qi. Secondly, there are also some abnormal sounds from the respiratory system, such as sneezing, coughing, panting, shortness of breath. Third, the sound from gastrointestinal system, such as nausea and vomiting, hiccuping, belching, etc. Besides these typical sounds, there are some other abnormal sounds such as yawning and deep sighing, etc. Let's check the voice firstly. According to yin-yang, a loud and vigorous voice often implies excess and or heat syndrome. A low and feeble sound indicates the deficiency and or cold syndrome, like this chart showing in here. In clinic, deep harsh voice mostly manifested in the exterior syndrome, retention of phlegm dampness syndrome, obstruction of lung qi, and or a blockage of the nasal orifice. Hoarseness and loss of voice are two opposite situations, which reflect the excess or deficiency syndrome. In TCM, we have two sayings: muffled metal failing to sound, 金石不明, which refers to the pathogenic qi or pathogenic products, block the lung, leads to a stagnation which blocked the normal function of lung qi, which cannot make a sound out. While the broken metal failing to sound, 精破不明, mostly refers to the deficient of lung qi, which cannot provide the power for sound. The so-called abnormal speech should focus on the expression of the language and responsiveness of the patients, and also their sound is louder or low. It can be classified into 5 types: delirious speech, unconsciously mumbling, soliloquy, paraphrases, and manic raving. Each of them has its own characteristics and clinical significance. You can check the chart in here. Mostly, the speech is not only related with the vocal organ, but closely with the heart shen. When heart shen being disturbed, the patient possibly will have the abnormal speech manifestations. For example, the soliloquy that manifests like the patient talking to oneself and stop when others appear. It is the insufficient heart qi fails to nourish the heart shen, or the qi stagnation, or retained phlegm clouding the heart shen. Listen to the sounds of the respiratory system refers to the examination of the speed, depth, strength, and quality of the breathing, and other sounds resulting from an illness. In a normal state, breathing is smooth, and even in depth and speed, about 16 to 20 times per minute. The respiratory abnormalities are particularly associated with disorders of the lung and kidney. In general, a coarse, rapid, and loud sound indicates an excess or heat syndrome. A faint and low sound such as a deficiency or cold syndrome. The commonly seen abnormal manifestations related to sounds of respiratory system have been listed in the chat. We can take the most common symptom, coughing, as example. It is the result of an ascending content flow of the lung qi. It is usually caused by an invasion of the lung by pathogenic qi, lung deficiency, and often accompanied by expectoration. So not only the sound, speed, time, and the location of the coughing should be detected, but also need to analyze the shape, color, quality, quantity of sputum at the same time. As we mentioned it before, beside the respiratory system, in our body, there are some more sounds can be found. For example, the gastrointestinal system, like we listed in the chart. The commonly abnormal manifestation includes nausea and vomiting, hiccuping, belching, bubble gums, those 4 types. The front 3 are generally caused by adverse flow of stomach qi or stomach fluid, while the bubble gums mostly refers to the gas in the intestinal, which cannot be here in normal time, but when the bowel movement becomes rapid or irregular, the sound will be typically. Another 闻诊, that is the offuscation. In simple terms, that is smelling, which refers to noting the odor from the patient's body, the secretion and excretion of patient. An abnormal odor of patient is often related to metabolism disorder of the 脏腑 organs. Qi and blood stagnation or physiologic changes in local tissues or organs. The odor of patient mostly reflect in the breath and the body. In abnormal conditions, an acid foul breathing indicates indigestion or stomach heat. Secretions and excretions include sputum, saliva, sweats, stools, urine, nails, urine, etc. We should pay attention to the shape, color, quality, and quantity of the secretion and excretion when analyzing the significance of the odor. For example, as listed in the chart, a clear nose discharge indicates the external constriction of wind cold, while a turbid and foul nausea discharge suggests the external contract of wind heat. So this is the simple introduction of auscultation and offuscation. Hope you remember this special word, 闻诊, and understand what it refers to. Also try to find out the relationships between the manifestations and the inner 脏腑. Grasp the clinical significance of each sound and odors. So much for today. See you in next diagnostic method. Bye-bye.